Hi, this is Rumela Banerjee, and joining me today is Deepanshu Goel, founder and MD at Creative Graphics, to discuss the company's outlook. Thank you for joining. Let's start off with your professional journey. What was the first step in your career, and how did it all lead to the creation of Creative Graphics?
So my professional journey began in 1998, right after I completed my graduation from Hindu College Delhi University. My first role was as an entrepreneur in the flexo printing industry, where we got an idea of making these flexo plates. I started with a very small setup, but the vision was very, very clear that we have to create something very significant. So the initial days were filled with a lot of challenges, from understanding the nuances of the printing industry to the managing the day-to-day operations of a fledgling business. In the earlier stages of my career, I was deeply involved with the day-to-day activities, and from the production to the marketing to the managing the finances and everything, as happens in a very small businesses. So this hands-on approach actually helped me develop a comprehensive understanding of the industry's technical and business ideas. That led to a creation of this creative graphics, and that was the very, very first beginning, to be honest.
So let's talk about your business, printing. Not much is known from a market perspective because there aren't many listed companies in the space. So would you give us a gist on how the industry works?
So when we talk about printing, it's not my industry's printing. We supply flexographic printing plates, as these are the rudiment part of the printing processes. So there are three types of general printing processes. One is offset, which is a very, very old kind of a technology, but it is restricted to largely paper. Second is gravure, which is also a very, very old technology, but has a lot of challenges as far as sustainability is concerned, as far as the choice of substrates are concerned. Then third is which is a very upcoming technology, which is a very, very modern and a very supportive to sustainability is flexography, for which we have been manufacturing the flexographic printing plates. So it is relatively a new technology in comparison to other two, but it is the fastest growing technology in India and around the world. So if you go to the Europe and other developed market, the printing industry is being ruled by flexography. In India, we still have a 10 to 12% of the penetration. That is actually very good news, because the market is bound to go for a flexographic printing market. So when we talk about this printing, it is, if you see any milk pouch or any notebook for your child, or a corrugated carton, to any label on a liquor bottle to a pharmaceutical bottle, they're all consisted of flexographic printing plates. So we have been supplying this for now more than 20 years, and very, very hopeful. We always have created a niche by investing in new technologies, by superseding the expectation of a client, because this market is very niche. It is very, very demanding when it comes to services and qualities. So we now have 8 factories across India. We are trying to cover geographical reaches, and also we kept on investing in new infrastructure and technologies to keep ourselves ahead.
All right. Specifically, your business, which is flexographic printing plates, how is it different from regular printing presses or plates in terms of mechanism, cost, etc.?
So as I discussed that, there are 3 types of processes. One is offset or lithography, which is the oldest known, maybe more than hundreds of years of processes, which has been, if you see any book printed or any box or this inner carton box is largely being printed by flex offset. So in offset processes, where this is largely printed on paper, it is done on the batch process, a sheet to sheet printing. And it is that is a limitation of this. Second is gravure, which is largely done if you see a lace package or other packaging product, which are printed through gravure processes. So it can print on plastic substrate, and other substrate, but the limitation is it uses a very toxicants, which are largely banned in many countries, including it's banned in India too. And the cost of conversion is very high. Even the cylinders, which are the printing blocks of this industry, which are the radio cylinders, are being made by a very, very toxic process where you have to use the chrome and nickel plating. So actually in developed and countries, it has already been banned or restricted. Even in China, the manufacturing of a cylinder has been restricted to a very, very remote sites. But in India, it is still popular because it has been a saturated kind of technology. It has been there for a while, so people are having much comfort with the technology. And in flexography, they are the rubber blocks. So the advantages are that the cost of conversion is very low. It is a very, very fast process. It can use water-based ink, and the substrate, when we talk about substrate, means the paper or plastic, or it can use any wide range of substrates. It also supports sustainability in a big way, as it has been using natural inks, water-based inks, and the wastage are very, very low. So it is the fastest growing. It is being preferred choice of all the multinationals because they are being pressed for the sustainability to reduce the carbon footprint. And the flexography is the only technology which has been supporting the sustainability, also the economy of printing.
I think the biggest expense for you would be the investments that you make in the machinery. So far, how much is that, and what kind of capacity do you have?
So, when you start a factory, which is service-based, one of expense is definitely the good type of machinery. But in our industry, one of the main part is also the human capacity, the human capex, where you have to train people. There people are being trained on a different software. The software are very, very important in this industry. The training, the people who are working on those software are very specifically trained for the same kind of industry, because you have to have the knowledge of the printing process. You have to have the knowledge of the software working on. You have to have the knowledge of the inks. You have to have the knowledge of the paper and so many other variables. So it is a very big entry barrier for the people because the high capex, and you have to keep on updating your machine because the printing scenario, the expectation of a client is very, very dynamic and it keeps on changing. Where we are required to fulfill the requirement of a client by innovation in technology and by very, very timely services. So one is capex for sure. Second is software and other technology. Third is human capacity, where we spend on their training and imparting new technologies. So as far as the capacity is concerned, creative graphics is the largest in India with 8 factories across the nation. And the idea was to provide, because there's a lot of demand from the FMCG sector where they don't give you time. They don't want to give the time to their competition to think that what is the next change. So the time to the market is very, very fast. So it gives a distinct advantage to us as far as the production capacity is concerned. We have close to 1.5 million square centimeter capacity, and still we are still at 70%, 60 to 70% utilization. Still a lot of capacity to be utilized.
Okay, so what impacts cost of your service and thus margins?
So, several factors impact the cost of services and thus margin for creative graphics. The primary influence includes the cost of raw materials or the import prices, like the conversion rate of $1 to rupee, or the cost of people is very high in this kind of a trade where you have to keep on updating and imparting the new technology to people. So, but on a longer perspective, we sign a year deal with a lot of suppliers who have been importing goods on our behalf. So we are able to stabilize the cost of the raw material. But the different cost of cost of people, I would say, is one of the major impact into the cost into the margins for us.
Are there any barriers to entry for your kind of business?
Huge. So when it comes to manufacturing of flexographic printing trade, the entry barriers are huge. It is not about the infrastructure only. Infrastructure, anybody can buy. The machine anybody can buy nowadays with so much of finance available for a lot of people. But you have to have a hands-on training of all the process. You should understand the basic nitty-gritty of making printing trade, because even a small dot, if you see any printing paper or film, if you see a mother dairy bag, you will see very, very small dots. The dots, the size of dot can be as small as the thickness of your hair. To get that kind of a sharpness onto the plate, onto the print, to get the exact simulation of your colors. If you see any phase and that colors has to be matched to the flexographic printing, in a small fraction of change can get a huge difference, which is not accepted by any of the brand owners. So you have to be very, very precise. You have to understand the knowledge of the colors. You have to have to understand the knowledge of the printing plate, because every printing plate has a different characteristic. It has a different surface tension and dot structure and a shore hardness. So also a lot of things are dependent on substrate. If you're printing on a paper or a film or a metal substrate, or what kind of inks you are using. Are you using a solvent-based ink or the water-based or UV inks? So that kind of knowledge is huge, and it is not kind of a business where you install a machine and start pressing a button and get the plates out. The whole infrastructure, and it's like a Zomato business where you have to build an infrastructure where you are you want to give the best of the quality at immediate terms, because nobody waits in this kind of business. So we have built up an infrastructure which gives the precision, which gives the right amount of right quality of plates and at the right time. That requires huge. It's not easy to be built by anybody who's new to the industry. It's going to take a while.
Okay, so who are your top clients or industries?
So when it comes to flexographic printing plate, our business is spread across all the industries, right from FMCG. We talk about FMCG. We have Tata Chemicals to direct line Unilever, to Mother Dairy, to Procter and Gamble, to Reckitt Benckiser, to all. These are the direct or indirect customer of us. And if you talk about the liquor, then if you see liquor, so everybody like Pernod Ricard to almost everybody. And if you talk about the pharmaceutical, right from the Mankind to Sun to Zydus to Cadila, all are direct and indirect have been buying through us. So and there's one of the FMCG, and if you talk about notebooks, ITC is our customer. If you see a notebook of your child, so this is being printed through a flexographic printing page. So right from the ITC to Dabur to Himalayas, a lot many.
Okay.
If it corrugated boxes, then Samsung and LG and Panasonic. So our client base is spread across all the industries, all the verticals.
Okay, now if you can tell me, what would be the factors that drive growth for your business? We have seen a great rise in sales in the last 3 financial years. What do you think has led to that?
But there have been there have been a lot of growth in the flexographic printing process in India because still the market share of flexographic printing in India has been very low. A small change gives a very big thrust to the demand because percentage rate it becomes very because the high because the low base was very low. If you see, there has been a lot of impetus and focus onto the sustainability, and flexography is the only process which supports the sustainability that is getting a lot of growth for us. And a lot of people are going into CI flexo process, which are very big investment, and the market is going to flexographic printing, which is bound to get a huge chunk of growth for us. Also, there is a consumption. If you see the India has a very huge consumable market where the new generation has been a lot of disposable income is coming into India, and that gives a lot of product for the FMCG. So there has been a growth of FMCG or the white goods or even the liquor kind of industry. It is directly helping our flexographic industry to grow. Secondly, we are also exporting, and export market to Africa and Middle East has been growing constantly. So that is also giving us a good growth as far as the flexographic printing is concerned. Rates are concerned.
Okay, you have been in this business since 1988. What is your vision for the company in the next 3 to 5 years?
So, as I told you, the company was started from scratch, and we have built now with the 8 factories across India, and we have made our name. When it comes to flexographic printing play, almost everybody knows Creative Graphics for its high value qualities, supplies, and ethical approach. So we also have expanded into different because we have started a new company by the name of Warren India, which is 100% subsidiary of Creative Graphics, which is giving the pharmaceutical packaging. So we are also witnessing a huge growth into that sector. We also started another company by the name of CG Media, which is directly linked to all the FMCG and other multinational brand, where we have been supplying right from the artworking to the 3Ds and different kind of services which are required by the companies. So we are hopefully within 3 to 5 years, we are going to witness a huge growth. As far as the 3 services are concerned, we are focusing on to improving the quality, improving on the services, and to optimize the cost. We are very optimistic as far as the growth is concerned for the next 3 to 5 years.
With that, we will wrap up this discussion. Thank you for your time.